How's everybody doing? My name's Mike, and we got Miss Abby hanging out on place today. So what I want to talk about today is just three simple concepts that is the whole dog's life after training. So we're going to talk about marking, and we want to talk about thresholds, and then also stringing all the commands they know together. So when the dog comes home, it's all about giving the dog a job so they always have something to do. Just like right now, the dog's job and challenge is to stay on that place bed without trying to get off, or also she's itching a lot on the bed. When I was getting close to her, she's getting so excited, she's just like itching. So that's why I have this shake hand right here, is to deter her from doing that. Which actually leads me into marking. So if the dog does something we don't want them to do, we want to mark it. We mark it with the word no, and then we back that up with a correction. That is the most important part about that deterring behavior, is saying the word no and then backing it up with a correction. Most people say no, and then there is no real correction. And that has to be done within 1 second of the dog's behavior. Same thing when we want to encourage the behavior. This is the other part of marking. We'll say, good girl, atta girl. And then we can pet the dog to reinforce the behavior. So when we're saying no, we're providing a punishment. And when we're saying yes, we're reinforcing the behavior. This is classic learning theory. So marking is very important. I could be on the other side of the room. The dog could try to get off the bed, and I could say, nope. And then now that I've marked that behavior, I can make my way over to the dog and still administer a correction. And that's totally fair for the dog, and the dog understands what happened. The important thing is to mark the behavior within a second of the dog doing it. You either want to interrupt the behavior or catch them before they do the thing you don't want them to do. So that is marking. Very simple. That's something you do throughout the day with the dog. That's happening all day. If you let the dog bark in the crate without them getting a punishment, then they believe they're allowed to bark in the crate, and they're going to do it more often. So the next thing is thresholds. What the thresholds are to the dog is the place bed, the front door, when we let them go into the bathroom from the road to the grass. That is also a threshold. We have the dog sit before every single threshold. This breaks up the monotony of their life, not the monotony, the momentum that they are going to use when they go through these thresholds. They are going to get more excited, and they use that momentum to push forward, pull on a leash, and do all that kind of stuff. So thresholds are very important. The dog all day. The crate is another threshold. So place bed, crate, front door, the road to the grass, outside. These are all thresholds. The dog will be going through a lot of thresholds, and that will be a big part of the dog's life. So marking, thresholds, those are huge for the dog. And then stringing the commands together. What I mean by that is right now the dog is in place. If I wanted to go outside with the dog would go from place to heel, and then we would be at the threshold, so the dog would go from heel to sit, and then the dog would go from a sit back to heel. You see what I mean? And then we go outside, the dog goes into a sit, and then we give them the bathroom command. They come back to a sit or a heel, and then a sit, and then back to heel. So all the way from the dog's crate to the place bed to outside to the bathroom, the dog is always in a command, always working for us. This is what is going to make the dog's life make sense, and what is going to calm the dog down in the end run when they have a routine that they can understand, that instills calmness rather than excitement. And in my next video, we're probably going to talk about how to try and keep this excitement down throughout the day with the dog. But for this video, that's the most important things you want to know about marking, thresholds, and stringing the commands together. That's really kind of what the dog's life tends to look like at the end of training.